The Throne Room Vision. A Shield Protocol Narrative. Lead verse, Revelation 4 verse 2. Introduction. What does it look like when heaven opens? What architecture awaits those who pass through the door? Today we examine one of the most concentrated throne room texts in all of Scripture, a single verse that contains the complete blueprint of heavenly governance. Revelation chapter 4, verse 2. The Apostle John writes, quote, "Straightway, I came to be in spirit. And behold, a throne had been set in the heaven. And upon the throne, one sitting. And the one sitting, like in appearance unto a jasper and sardine stone. And iris, a rainbow, encircling the throne, like in appearance unto an emerald. And encircling the throne, 24 thrones. And upon the 24 thrones, elders sitting, arrayed in white garments. And upon their heads, crowns of gold." End quote. In this single verse, we encounter 8 distinct family tags: throne, heaven, spirit, glory, covenant, elders, priesthood, and reign. This is not random accumulation. This is maximum classification content, scoring 14 on the non-random index. And it carries the full convergence of what we call the Dominion Trinity: identity, inheritance, and priesthood, all present in one breathtaking vision. The Spirit Access Protocol. John begins with a mechanism. He tells us how he got there. Quote, "Straightway, I came to be in spirit." This phrase appears twice in Revelation. First in chapter 1 verse 10, where John says he came to be in spirit on the Lord's day and heard a great voice like a trumpet. Now here in chapter 4, immediately after the voice says, "Come up here." This is not metaphor. This is access protocol. The Spirit is the transport mechanism for prophetic witness. You do not walk into the throne room. You do not climb there. You come to be in spirit, and suddenly, you are there. Straightway. Immediately. No journey described. No distance covered. Spirit-mediated relocation. Enoch knew this mechanism. In the Similitudes, chapter 62 verses 2 and 3, we read that the Lord of Spirits seated the elect one on the throne of his glory, and the Spirit of righteousness was poured out upon him. Spirit and throne access are bound together. The pouring out of Spirit enables throne proximity. The throne had been set. Notice the grammar. A throne had been set. Past tense. Completed action. John does not witness the throne being established. He witnesses a throne already established, already positioned, already occupied. This throne did not appear for John's benefit. It was there before John arrived, and it remains there after John departs. Enoch chapter 9 verse 4 records the watchers crying out to the Lord of the ages, saying, quote, "Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, the throne of thy glory standeth unto all the generations of the ages." End quote. The throne stands. It does not come and go. It is fixed. Eternal. The architecture precedes all visitors. And upon this throne, one sitting. Not standing. Not pacing. Sitting. The posture of completed authority. The posture of one who has nothing left to prove, nothing left to accomplish before taking the seat. The work is done. The seat is occupied. Governance proceeds. Jasper and sardine stone. John does not describe a face. He does not describe features. He describes appearance like precious stones. Jasper. Sardine. The one sitting radiates like crystallized light, like mineral fire, like geological glory. This connects to Enoch's vision in chapter 46 verse 1. Quote, "And there I saw one who had a head of days, and his head was white like wool." End quote. Both texts refuse to give us a photograph. Both give us radiance markers. White like wool. Like jasper. Like sardine. The visual language is light language. Purity language. Unapproachable brilliance made approachable only by spirit transport. Enoch chapter 71 verse 10 adds, quote, "And with them the head of days, his head white and pure as wool, and his raiment indescribable." End quote. Indescribable. Even Enoch, given extraordinary access, runs out of vocabulary. The appearance exceeds language. John gives us stones. Enoch gives us wool and admits defeat. Both are trying to describe what human words cannot contain. Iris encircling the throne. And now we encounter something remarkable. Iris. A rainbow. Encircling the throne. Like in appearance unto an emerald. Go back to Genesis chapter 9. After the flood, after the judgment, after Noah and his family emerge onto a cleansed earth, Elohim speaks. Verse 13, This bow of mine I place in the clouds, and it shall be for a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Verse 16, When this my bow shall be in the cloud, I will look that I may remember the age-abiding covenant. The rainbow was a covenant sign. A reminder. A promise made visible. But here in Revelation 4, the rainbow has been relocated. It is no longer in the clouds above the earth. It is encircling the throne in heaven. The covenant sign has been elevated to throne proximity. It wraps around the seat of all authority. This is not decoration. This is architecture. The covenant is not an afterthought attached to the throne. The covenant encircles the throne. Every direction the elders look toward the center, they see the covenant first. The iris frames the one sitting. Covenant precedes access. And notice, like in appearance unto an emerald. Green. The color of life. The color of living things. The covenant that preserved life through judgment now encircles the throne in life color, promising that this throne governs toward life, not death. 24 thrones encircling. Outside the iris, John sees more thrones. Not one throne. 24 thrones. Encircling the central throne. This is delegated authority made visible. This is governance structure radiating outward from a single source. Colossians chapter 1 verse 16 tells us that by him were created all things in the heavens and on the earth, the visible and the invisible, whether thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. Thrones are a category of created governance. The 24 thrones John sees belong to this category. They are not competing thrones. They are derived thrones. Delegated thrones. Thrones that exist because the central throne authorized their existence. Enoch chapter 47 verse 3 describes a similar scene. Quote, In those days I saw the head of days when he seated himself upon the throne of his glory, and the books of the living were opened before him. And all his host which is in heaven above and his counselors stood before him. End quote. Counselors. Attendants. Those who surround the throne for participation in governance. The elders on 24 thrones are this heavenly council made visible. Elders in white garments. Who sits on these 24 thrones? Elders. Not angels. Not cherubim. Not seraphim. Elders. The term carries weight. Elders are those with authority derived from maturity, from tested faithfulness, from proven service. And what are they wearing? White garments. This is priestly language. In Leviticus, the priests wore white linen. In Revelation chapter 3 verse 5, the overcomer is promised white garments. In chapter 7 verse 14, those who come out of the great tribulation have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. White garments signify priestly holiness. The elders on the 24 thrones are not merely rulers. They are priests. They serve. They mediate. They operate in the throne room with priestly function. Enoch chapter 60 verse 2 confirms the pattern. Quote, And the head of days sat on the throne of his glory, and the angels and the righteous stood around him. End quote. Angels and righteous. Attendants and the holy ones. The elders represent the righteous who have been granted throne room proximity. Crowns of gold. Upon their heads, crowns of gold. These are not decorative. These are not ceremonial trinkets. Crowns signify authority to reign. The elders are not just priests in white garments. They are kings with crowns. They are the embodiment of Revelation chapter 1 verse 6, and hath made us kings and priests unto Elohim and his Father. Kings and priests. Reign and priesthood. Crowns and white garments. The elders sitting on 24 thrones display the full identity promised to the faithful. This is inheritance realized. This is position occupied. This is destination reached. Later in chapter 4 verse 10, we read that the elders will cast down their crowns in presence of the throne, saying, "Worthy are you, Lord." The crowns are real. The authority is real. But the authority knows its source. The crowns return to the one who gave them. This is not abdication. This is worship. The cycle of receiving and returning, of being crowned and casting down, defines the eternal rhythm of throne room existence. The Dominion Trinity converges. Let us gather what we have seen. In this single verse, the Dominion Trinity converges completely. Identity. The one sitting on the throne. Like jasper and sardine. Divine presence revealed in radiant appearance. This is who governs. This is the source. Inheritance. 24 thrones for 24 elders. Crowns of gold upon their heads. Co-regency position granted. Inheritance is not merely promised. Inheritance is occupied. The thrones are sat upon. The crowns are worn. Priesthood. White garments on every elder. Priestly holiness enabling throne room service. The elders do not merely observe. They function. They worship. They cast down crowns. They sing. They serve. Identity, inheritance, priesthood. All three present. All three visible. All three active. This is maximum convergence. This is what the entire biblical narrative moves toward. The throne room is not a way station. It is the destination. The pattern confirmed. Hebrews chapter 8 verse 1 summarizes what we have seen. Quote, "Now of the things which we have spoken this is the sum. We have such an high priest, who is set on the right hand of the throne of the majesty in the heavens." End quote. High priest. Throne. Heavens. The elements align. The writer of Hebrews knew what John would later see. There is a throne. There is priesthood operating in relation to that throne. There is heavenly location. And Revelation chapter 20 verse 11 shows us the same throne in a different function. Quote, "And I saw a great white throne, and the one who was sitting thereupon, from whose face fled the earth and the heaven." End quote. Same throne. Same one sitting. But now in judgment function. The throne that receives worship in chapter 4 executes judgment in chapter 20. One seat. Multiple operations. Conclusion. The destination architecture. Revelation 4 verse 2 is not merely descriptive. It is prescriptive. It shows us the destination. It reveals what awaits those who come to be in spirit and pass through the open door. The throne is set. The covenant encircles it. The thrones for the faithful surround it. The white garments are ready. The crowns are prepared. The architecture exists. It waits. Enoch saw it. John saw it. The pattern repeats across the textual witnesses because the reality remains constant. There is a throne room. There is a place prepared. There are seats assigned. The spirit that transported John is the same spirit available now. The door that opened for John remains open. "Come up here," the voice said. And John came. In spirit. Straightway. This is the non-random content of Revelation 4 verse 2. Not scattered images. Not random symbolism. But the concentrated architecture of heavenly governance, presented in one verse, waiting to be inhabited by those who overcome. The throne has been set. The one is sitting. The iris encircles. The thrones await. And the crowns of gold are ready for heads that have not yet worn them.